Thank you for tuning in and welcome back, team. If you have a bad credit score or a low credit score, I don't want you to get discouraged. There's things that you can do, and I'll go over 5 things in this episode that you can put into practice right now. And look, before we even get into the main content of this episode, let's you and I have a heart-to-heart and go ahead and bring it in. If you have a low credit score or a bad credit score, it's not necessarily your fault. Everything happens in life, and so many different things happen. You could have had a bankruptcy that maybe was due to the loss of a job, loss of a loved one, could have had a foreclosure on a house, a short sale in times past. Things happen. What's important is what we've learned from those experiences and how we choose to move forward. So if your circumstance is having low or bad credit, just take heart and know that we're going to get this fixed together. So let's go ahead and move into our content, okay? My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line and say hello, my contact info is below. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. For reference, I upload 6 days a week, so be sure to tap the bell icon to get notified of the very next one. Okay, team, just like I said, let's go ahead and remove the emotions from the situation. There's nothing to feel embarrassed about. There's nothing to be scared about, okay? One of the things that I want you to understand is that the most common reason that people don't move forward and take a step forward is due to fear. Fear is actually an acronym. Fear means false evidence appearing real. Don't let false evidence hold you back from taking the steps that you need to repair your credit and progress in life, whether it's pertaining to your credit score or anything else in your life. Don't let fear stand in the way. So the first thing that you can do to go ahead and get your credit score up is go ahead and apply for a mortgage. And why am I saying that? Well, very simple. Because we don't know what we don't know until we know that we don't know it, don't we? Right? So we don't know what we don't know until we know that we don't know it. So if you've ever heard that expression before, it's quite true. We don't know what your current length of employment or your current income is going to pass muster, because sometimes you can get a credit score, or a home mortgage for a lower credit score than you could have thought. And just this past week alone, I had about 3 conversations with really wonderful people that had reached out to me, and Zillow, YouTube, and just online off of my website. And when I was talking to them, they said, Andrew, I don't think that I can get approved for a mortgage. And I said, well, what's going on? And they said, we have good income and we have low debts, but our credit score sucks. And I said, well, just out of curiosity, what is a sucky credit score to you? Oh, it's like a 620, and I know that's too low. And I said, oh, hold on. Hold on. Normally, that's not the case, because a lot of lenders can approve you with as low as a 580 credit score and above for a home mortgage. So it's important to know what a bad credit score looks like. A bad credit score is like if you're in the 400s or maybe in the low 500s. That would be technically considered a bad or low credit score. But a 580 or above, in a lot of cases, depending on the lender, you can actually get approved for a mortgage. And once you do get approved for a mortgage and purchase your new home, it's actually going to boost your credit score pretty big by the virtue of being a homeowner. So there's just things that you can get to know by just taking the first step forward and going ahead and completing an online loan application with your local loan officer, just to get the ball rolling and see where you're at. At a minimum, they'll be able to give you a game plan and say, hey, you know what? Here's the thing. It looks like you might not be ready just yet, but in about 3 to 9 months or so, the time obviously is going to depend on your circumstances, you might be able to go ahead and purchase your new home if you take the following steps. Boom, 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 boom. It's about coming up with a game plan, coming up with a strategy to go ahead and fix your credit and get it right. Because a lot of people also think that sometimes you need 20% down on a home loan. That's just not the case. There's a lot of low down payment loan programs out there, home is possible programs, first time home buying programs you should look into, okay? Now, the second thing that you can do is actually take a credit report deep dive. Dive deep into your credit score. If you don't have a Credit Karma account right now, go ahead and get a Credit Karma account so you can go ahead and start taking a look at what they're reporting on your credit to see what's going on with that situation. There's a lot of things that sometimes can be done that are pretty actionable items. An actionable item is maybe your credit card utilization rate is too high, meaning like if you have a $1,000 balance, maybe you're carrying $500 a month on your balance, which is like a 50% utilization. By just dropping that down to under 25% or under 20% and maintaining that 15 to 20% marker, it's going to continue to give you consistent payments on that credit card, which is going to help you drive up your credit score. At the same time, it's going to keep it underneath a certain level for your credit card utilization that's going to be more favorable to boosting your credit score and actually getting approved for your home loan. That's a very actionable item. If you have collections, if you have defaults, if you have missed payments, there's some things like that that you can go ahead. Those might be a little less actionable, but the collections are actionable. You can pay off those collections. You can restructure that. You can ask them to work with you for a repayment program on those and ask them to preferably remove the negative inquiry or the negative hit on your credit report. So, you know, if you have missed payments, obviously that just takes time to get that up. That is a pretty big one. It's pretty important. And it can take anywhere between 7 and 10 years, depending on the type of negative hit on your credit, for it to drop. Now, if you're wondering about hard inquiries, look, hard inquiries drop in 2 years or less, okay? Just want to let you know that up front. If your credit issues are more complex than just paying off debt, then we need to reevaluate your circumstances with a local loan officer and credit repair counseling that might be amenable and helpful to you, okay? The third thing is to actually roll up your sleeves and prepare to repair. I mean, seriously, if you're serious about boosting your credit score, then it's time to get to work. It's time to put your nose to the grindstone and start being responsible for your actions and responsible for your decisions, and making sure that you're taking the appropriate steps forward to do what's going to be best for you in the long run, okay? So focus on what you can do. Focus on paying down your debt. Focus on boosting your credit score, and focus on what you can do to make payments easier and lower. One of the steps is just getting organized. Actually chart out where's your money go. If you don't have a budget yet, create a budget. And by creating a budget, it'll give you more control over your financial situation. A lot of people will typically just, oh, I got money in the bank, I know I can spend this money or not spend this money. But if you create a budget, then you're going to actually create a savings plan. It's actually going to put your financial situation into perspective and really go a long ways to helping you get your credit score right. So get organized, get a budget, and stick to it, and discipline yourself so that you can start building up for yourself in life. It's a shame, because a lot of Americans, as wealthy of a country in the world as the United States is, a lot of Americans don't have more than $1,000 in a savings account. Well, $1,000 in the United States, as you and I both know, isn't going to buy you any time. You know, money is really there to more or less buy freedom, buy time. If you don't have enough money to live 3 to 6 months or 12 months saved up, then that's something that another good reason why you'd want to have your budget outlined, so you can begin saving for that, so that, and God forbid something ever happen, then you have a reserve fund that's ready to go. Now, the fourth way that you can boost your credit score is actually committing to minimum payments and more. So when you commit to a minimum payment, this goes back to the consistent principle of paying your credit cards, student loan debts, whatever the case may be, on time, every time. And by paying a little bit more, even if it's just $5 more, it's going to pay off the principal balance quicker. It's going to charge you less interest over the course of that specific debt or that specific credit that you were issued, and it's going to help you pay it off a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster. Every little bit here really, really helps. So let's make sure that you stay focused on that, and let's make sure that you also are always consistent on your payments, and that you're always consistent on paying just a little bit more. It's a good rule of thumb, and it's a great habit to get into. Even when you do get your mortgage, just a few extra payments, just a few extra dollars can add up and make the world of a difference for you. Now, the fifth thing is, if you need help, go ahead and reach out for help and education. I mean, if you're really perplexed, you're overwhelmed by the debt situation, and a housing advisor is going to be the next logical step, whether it's a trusted real estate advisor that gets you in touch with a great local loan officer who can also help you get in touch with one-on-one credit counseling. If that's what it takes, that's what we're here to do, to help you be able to restore your life to the appropriate balance and get you where you want to go. So there's actually a really wonderful program that Fannie Mae, who is one of the main powers behind issuing home loans in the United States, they have one-on-one counseling online that's called Frameworks. I'll go ahead and put the Frameworks from Fannie Mae program down below in the comment section, or excuse me, in the show more description, so you can go ahead and click on that link if you really are just feeling overwhelmed. The idea behind this video today is just to let you know, look, take a deep breath in, let's calm down. Don't get completely perplexed about the credit score situation, and let's do what we need to do in a logical sequence to go ahead and help you increase your credit score. Now, what I'd like you to do is tell me what you're thinking about this video in the comment section below. Which one of these 5 tips really stuck out to you, and which one are you taking for action right now, today? If you haven't already done so, then I'd like to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. Number 3, please share this video around with someone you know is going to be able to help, because just like you, I'm sure you could think of one other person that could really appreciate this video and it would really help them today. Please share it with them. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop up my contact information. If you have any questions for me, or if you just simply need help finding a top agent where you live, please let me know. I always enjoy to hear from you. In between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. See you again soon, team, and enjoy an amazing day.